Hello again, everyone, and welcome to High Top Sports Network's presentation today of WPIAL Class 5A Section 1 Varsity Baseball. The Armstrong Riverhawks hosting the Fox Chapel Foxes. My name is Josh Reckengast. Thanks for tuning in this afternoon. And a big game, especially for the Riverhawks, a must-win situation for Armstrong after losing yesterday at Fox Chapel 8-2. The Riverhawks, in their final section game of the year, need a victory to have hopes for a playoff berth. They're also going to need some help next week. Need a Penn Trafford loss, I believe, if they win today, to be able to qualify for the WPIAL postseason. Welcome to the Mills Chiropractic pregame show. Remember, check them out online, Mills Chiropractic, right by the Belmont Center in West Katanning. Go down there, they'll fix you up, get you back on your feet, and they also do Department of Transportation examinations for just $75, a great price to get that taken care of if you need that for your work, your career. So thanks to Dr. Mills and his fine staff for being our pregame sponsor today. Of course, you can see there on your screen, Steffi's Country Catering is our scoreboard sponsor this afternoon. And Bugsy's Pizza and Wings, downtown Katanning, is our official broadcast partner for today's game. Yesterday, Hayden Brink took the loss, but wasn't on him as his defense committed 5 errors behind him as the Riverhawks fell by 6 runs, 8-2. And that was a game where I talked to Armstrong head coach Vincent Santelmo, and he said, I'm going to do everything I can to get this W out of the way. So he threw Hayden Brink, who is, along with Dustin Coleman, that's the 1-2 punch in their rotation. Coleman on the hill today. Second pitch from Coleman upstairs for a ball. But Brink went yesterday, and, out of the 6 runs he gave up, only 2 of them were earned, as I mentioned. Swing and a miss right there. Coleman firing a fastball by the Foxes' leadoff hitter. We'll get those names up for you as soon as the game changer updates. So Coleman ahead now, 1-2 the count, and that one fouled away and out of play. Yeah, the Riverhawks had a chance yesterday to secure that W and then have a chance for a sweep today, which would have put them in much better shape. Their section is uber competitive as that one misses high, 2-2 count. You go through the standings and it's, Fox Chapel, Franklin Regional, Penn Trafford, all with 7 wins. Riverhawks have 6 coming into this game. Need that 7th right now, and as I mentioned, some help in the form of a Penn Trafford loss next week to be able to qualify. Full count here to the leadoff hitter for Fox Chapel. And that is a Nationwide Logistics full count. Drive with the best. Nationwide Logistics, you can check them out if you're looking for a career change. Just look up Nationwide Logistics Inc. That's Nationwide Logistics, Inc.com. Brand new fleet of trucks, great benefits. You can apply for a new career there as that one skied shallow center field, Harkle Road in, and he makes the grab for the first out of the game. And flying out right there was Zach Johnston for the Foxes. So one away here, top of the first. You're watching High Top Sports Network. Josh Reckengast with you today. It's been a horrible week in terms of getting into baseball and softball games. We've been rained out all week up until this point. We had the West Shamokin boys volleyball team on a couple nights ago, but all of our other previously scheduled games between the baseball and softball teams we cover were all rained out this week. So it's kind of nice to get back outside and see some baseball being played today here at Armstrong. A little bit cloudy, but a nice day, about 63 degrees at game time. That one chopped towards Kinter at second base, and he fires on to right for the second out of the inning. And that was Mitchell Epstein grounding out to second. So Coleman, through the first 2 Fox Chapel batters here in the top of the first. A lefty coming up right now for the Foxes. That's number 3, Jeremy Haig. Big cut right there by Haig. Swing and a miss. So Coleman knows he has to be the stopper today. Riverhawks have hit a bumpy patch, to say the very least. 0-1 in their first strike by Coleman. Armstrong was cruising along there until about a week and a half ago. And they ran into Franklin Regional, got swept there, and a backwards K as Haig goes down. So Coleman makes quick work of the Foxes in the first. That's a Nationwide Logistics backwards K. So 3 up, 3 down for the Foxes. And that'll bring the Riverhawks up to bat here on this Bugsy's Pizza and Wings game day on High Top Sports Network. Thanks for tuning in this afternoon, Friday. TGIF for sure. As I said, we've been stuck inside, unable to cover any baseball and softball all week. High Top's team going a little stir-crazy inside. You know, we're used to being out every day at a field somewhere. So as I said, nice to get back out. Not too windy today up here at Armstrong, which is a welcome turn of events. Usually we're getting blasted with the wind right in our face here where we're set up. Right center field across the road at Armstrong Stadium on the landing. But not much wind at all today. Slight breeze. Partly cloudy, as I said, about 63 degrees at game time. So that is also a welcome turn of events, as it was cold and rainy all week. Saw some sleet earlier in the week, a little bit of snowflakes too. You don't like that whenever mid-May is rapidly approaching. And just a quick mention of our scoreboard sponsor today, Steffi's Country Catering. Remember, those graduation parties are right around the corner, so get in touch with Terry. He'll take care of you. Slick you up, as we say, in Worthington, Cowansville, and Adrian. Terry, just a fantastic sponsor. If I were a betting man, I would put some cash on the fact that he'd be watching right now. So the first batter up here for the Riverhawks takes a ball high. That is Coleman in at the plate. But as I mentioned, you know, the Riverhawks were cruising right along. Had won 6 straight games before the 18th of April. Or excuse me, the 24th of April. That first game against Franklin Regional, 4-0 loss at Franklin Regional. Ball high right there. And then back here for a 9-inning, 6-0 loss, where Brink pitched an absolute masterpiece for the Riverhawks, but hit the pitch count. He was through 7, nothing allowed. And that one ripped back up the middle, a leadoff base hit for Dustin Coleman, and the Riverhawks have the leadoff runner aboard. Coleman smoked that ball right up the middle. And pitching today for Fox Chapel is Ryan Inglis on the hill for the Foxes. But after that sweep by Franklin Regional, the Riverhawks, as I said, have kind of hit a bumpy patch. They had a non-conference game against York here on the 27th, which they won 4-2, but then yesterday at Fox Chapel, 8-2 losers. And now, with their backs to the wall, got to get a win today to keep those playoff hopes alive. Inglis in the stretch now. Coleman has been replaced by a pinch runner. I think that's Fester. Take a look here and see if I can get the update. And if you've tuned into our broadcast before here for Armstrong Baseball, it's kind of tough to see those numbers from 512 feet away. We figured it out. That's exactly how far we are away from home plate. So Logan Galinsky has had a good stretch here at the plate. The Armstrong catcher talked to Coach Santelmo about his improvement so far this season. Senior catcher has really come along this year as he takes a strike from Inglis right there. Down in the count 0-2 after the sacrifice bunt attempt was called a strike on the first pitch. So we've got Fester down there at first base. Throw over by Inglis. And Fester is back. Fester, good speed on the base paths for the Riverhawks. Over at first base there is Dom Castle. Curveball misses from Inglis right there. Out of the zone, Galinsky lays off. 1-2 now the count. But back to Steffi's. Make sure you get in touch with Terry. Search him up on Facebook at Terry Steffi. Put in your graduation party orders. Also, any event you got coming up this spring and summer, weddings, family reunions, whatever. Swing and a miss right there, and Galinsky goes down on the breaking ball from Inglis. One away for the Riverhawks, as Galinsky just kind of waved at that 1-2 breaking ball. And unable to make contact, so Fester still down there at first base. Inglis again out of the stretch. And that one in there on the inside corner, right above the knees. Good pitch by Inglis. And that'll be a strike to Caden Rupert, who is playing left today. You usually see Caden out in right field. But the Armstrong senior outfielder is in left field today against the Foxes. 0-1 from Inglis. That one down and away for a ball. 4 seniors on this Riverhawks team. Brink, Coleman, Galinsky, and Rupert, and they certainly would like to do all they can to keep this season alive. Of course, the Riverhawks have 3 more regular season games left. Inglis gets the breaking ball over for a strike right at the letters. Riverhawks will have non-conference games against Highlands, Kiski, and North Catholic at Pullman Park. But this is their final 5A Section 1 contest of the year. And a must-win for Armstrong. That one down low from Inglis. Evens the count up at 2-2. So let's see if Fester is on the move right here on this 2-2 pitch. He does not take off. That ball is high. Fastball upstairs to a full count. A Nationwide Logistics full count. Drive with the best. Nationwide Logistics. Check them out online. NationwideLogisticsInc.com. And that one popped up. Right side. Castle taking a look. And it'll be out of play. So another full count offering coming up from Inglis right now. Fester at first, one away. Curveball waited on by Rupert, but he skies it right side. And the catch is made by the second baseman for the Foxes. We'll get his name here a second. Got to look it up on the roster because they only have numbers out there. So we'll check it out really quickly. And that is number 10 for Fox Chapel at second base. And that would be Benny DeMott. So DeMott makes the grab. 2 away, Mason Schreckengost at the plate right now. Schreckengost having a very good year at the plate for the Riverhawks. Taking a look at those batting averages. And Schreckengost hitting .373 so far. Second best on the team behind Rupert. Oh, and that one drills Schreckengost right on the number between the shoulder blades. But he hops up and trots down to first base. So Armstrong now with 2 aboard after Schreckengost is hit by that pitch from Inglis. Trust me, that's the worst place to catch one. Really in the ribs or right between the shoulder blades. Well, those ones hurt, but Schreckengost, he's tough. He's down there at first. You got to pop right up. Otherwise, your teammates are going to give it to you in the dugout. But he did. Popped right up after Inglis hit him. So now 2 aboard. Inglis steps off right now. Going through the signs again. And first pitch, down low, able to lay off it, is Hayden Brink. Brink out there at shortstop today for the Riverhawks. Chance right now, maybe a base hit, able to score Fester from second. Inglis taking his time. Delivery to Brink, another curveball, got it in there that time. So the count now even at 1-1. So Fester down there at second after Coleman's leadoff single. And Schreckengost. Oh, that ball gets through the left side, off the glove of the shortstop. Fester's going to hold up at third base. It didn't make it very far into the outfield as it was knocked down by Johnston there. Hard ground ball toward the hole. That's going to be a base hit for Brink, and that'll load the bases for Armstrong here in the bottom of the first. Riverhawks looking to take an early lead. And Braden Wright, the first baseman at the plate, takes a strike. Seen some good power out of Wright so far this season. Couple of bombs here on the broadcast. It's a game winner. A walk-off in the 10th inning against Plum early in the season. And Wright swings over top of that curveball from Inglis. So Wright actually in right field today. Logan Badak out at first in the field. Apologies to Logan. And Wright skies one deep right field, but it's going to get out of play. Wouldn't have been long enough anyway. Boy, that was a high fly ball there. Wright getting under that curveball. Looked like a pitching wedge. Just skied it. So the count remains 1-2. Bases loaded here. Riverhawks Wright trying to find some green against Inglis to give the Riverhawks a lead. And that off-speed pitch, don't know if that was the curveball as well, ends up being low there. Evens the count up at 2-2 to Braden Wright. So Wright with a big opportunity right here, the sophomore. As I mentioned, plenty of power. 310 down the line here in right field, and he's cleared that a couple times this year. And Wright lays off again, so able to work into a nationwide logistics full count. And Inglis nowhere to put Braden Wright, so going to have to expect one to be in the strike zone here. He's been relying on that curveball quite heavily. Let's see what he gives Wright on the 3-2. Runners on the move. Wright goes the opposite way. And it drops foul just outside the left field line. Boy, the Foxes have Wright shaded to pull. And it drops just outside the left field line for a foul ball. So we will get another full count delivery here from Inglis. Wright digs in, awaits that full count pitch. Runners again on the move. And Wright skies one deep right field. But it is going to stay in the park as it is grabbed in right field for the third out of the inning. Again, Wright just missing right there. Got just a little bit under it and put it way high in the air. But the Foxes are able to get out of the bases loaded jam as Inglis induces the inning-ending fly ball there out of Braden Wright and into the glove of Jeremy Hagan Wright. So that'll take us to the second inning. No score here on High Top Sports Network. My name is Josh Schreckengost. Thanks again to our official broadcast partner today, Bugsy's Pizza and Wings, downtown Katanning. Stop in, grab a Godfather. That's what I always say. Huge pizza, 32 cuts. Feed an army, certainly feed a family. Make sure you pick up some wings. I always go with the seasoned. Grab yourself a pound of fries. Possibly my favorite item on the menu. Those home-style cut fries. Get them out of the tar pit in the kitchen there at Bugsy's. On South Jefferson Street, downtown Katanning, Pennsylvania, our official broadcast partner for our coverage of Armstrong baseball here in 2023. So the Foxes escape the first inning with the bases loaded. Riverhawks leave 3 stranded as Inglis got right to fly out to right. About to get the second inning underway. Dustin Coleman made quick work of Fox Chapel in that first inning. A 1-2-3 first for Coleman, couple of strikeouts. Excuse me, 1 strikeout and a couple of pop-ups. Pardon me there. So, leading off against Dustin Coleman is the cleanup hitter. And that is Dom Castle, the first baseman. Coleman just missing on that breaking ball. Dropped below the knees of Castle. That'll even the count up at 1-1. Swing and a miss on the fastball. Coleman blows that one right by Castle. 1-2 count. We're in the top of the second here at Armstrong Junior Senior High School. High atop the hill in scenic Manor Township, Pennsylvania. And Coleman paints the corner, a backwards K. And that is a Nationwide Logistics backwards K. Nationwide Logistics specializes in cross-border truckload service to and from select Northeast, Midwest, and Southeast states. And as I said, you go to their website, nationwidelogisticsinc.com. First thing that pops up is a little window that says, join the team, we're hiring. And you can contact now, a little button you can push right there as soon as you log on. And they have been in business for 11 years, headquartered in Cincinnati, Ohio. But obviously plenty of opportunities over here, this way, and all over really. That pitch fouled away. At the plate right now for the Foxes is Benny DeMott, second baseman for Fox Chapel in today's game. Here's Coleman's 1-2. And just missing right there. DeMott lays off. Count now even at 2-2. Fastball up high, so now another Nationwide Logistics full count. So Coleman now, this will be pitch number 23 for the Armstrong right-handed starter. And he misses, issues his first walk of the game to DeMott. Coleman was ahead in the count there, but unable to get DeMott. So now with 1 out, Fox Chapel has a runner aboard. And that will bring to the plate number 14, Jack Resick. Coleman taking a look at DeMott over there at first base. Badak holding him on. Swing and a miss, inside fastball. Gets that one past Resick. 0-1 count. Swing and a miss on a high fastball there. So Resick just pulling the trigger right now. That first pitch was in the strike zone, but that second pitch certainly high and out of the strike zone. Delivered there by Coleman, but Resick does him a favor and swings at it. Pickoff attempt. And DeMott is back safely. Badak trying to apply that quick tag, but DeMott able to slide in under it. 0-2 the count here to Resick. That one fouled out of play right side. So Coleman had a 1-2-3 first, got the first out of this inning, but then walked Benny DeMott after being up in the count 1-2. 3 straight balls, puts DeMott down at first. He's on the moves. Coleman steps off, and DeMott is tagged, caught stealing. Boy, Coleman just waited and waited, and DeMott just took off. All Coleman had to do was step off and turn around. And he did. He tossed it over there to Brink. Brink applied the tag, so 2 down. Interesting decision there by DeMott. You got to wait until the pitcher starts toward home plate. Coleman was just in that stretch. Swing and a miss. And strike 3. So Coleman gets a favor there from Benny DeMott, caught stealing. And then strikes out Resick to end the inning. So that's going to take us to the bottom of the second here on High Top Sports Network. Bugsy's Pizza and Wings Game Day. Head down to Bugsy's for all your pizza wings. And they have Nachos Grande, too, which I was checking out the other day. And let me tell you, it's a heaping helping of Nachos Grande. Of course, they have specialty pizzas, subs, all the good stuff. Thanks to Jeff Bowser, the owner of Bugsy's, for being the official broadcast partner of our coverage of Armstrong baseball here in 2023. Got some other great sponsors we will thank along the way, including Carson Boyer Funeral Home, serving the Rural Valley and Armstrong County communities for decades now with courtesy, professionalism, dignity, and respect. Thanks also to Armstrong Indoor Athletics, our broadcast booth sponsor today. AIA, the premier baseball and softball training facility in the region, just added a beautiful indoor diamond. Got the turf down, has the netting up. Got an extra pitching and hitting cage in there. Of course, out front, batting and pitching lanes are available for rental. Plenty of expert instruction at AIA. And remember, the 4th annual Armstrong Indoor Athletics Baseball Championship Camp coming up here in mid-June. It'll be June 12th through the 16th here at Armstrong Junior Senior High School. The instruction will be held on the baseball and softball fields. And plenty of cool things going on at the Champ Camp. There'll be scrimmages, drills, games, all kinds of fun stuff for your young baseball player. And for registration information, check out AIA.team. So Inglis starts this bottom of the second inning with a strikeout of Armstrong first baseman Logan Badak. One away here for the Foxes. So Badak goes down on strikes. Riverhawks had the bases loaded with 2 outs last inning, but unable to cash in any runs as Braden Wright flew out to right field to end the inning and end the Riverhawks' threat. Inglis, not sure if he's throwing a slider right there. Some of them seem to have more break than others. Maybe he might be mixing a curve and a slider in there. Hasn't thrown his fastball all that much. Nick Kinter, Riverhawks second baseman, up at the plate. Just takes strike 2 looking there, so down to the count 0-2. That one missing up high. There was the fastball out of Inglis. It certainly looks like he's been mixing a slider and a curveball so far early in this one. Kinter reaches out, serves it into right field, but over to grab it is Haig, and that'll be 2 down for the Riverhawks. Kinter went with that pitch, able to go the other way with it, just had too much hang time, and that allowed Haig to get underneath it, grab it for the second out of the inning. So 2 down here. Zach Wiles at the plate. Wiles suffered an injury in the season opener against Indiana and has been able to work his way back into the lineup. Both he and Badak were injured in that season opener against the Little Indians, but both now back in the lineup for the Riverhawks. Wiles took a little bit longer than Badak to get back, but both guys back and healthy now for Armstrong. Inglis, the 2-0 in there for a strike. 2-1 now on Zach Wiles. And that one fouled right off the fencing in front of the Fox Chapel dugout. So count now even at 2-2. Inglis delivers. That one fouled away. Able to hang in there with that fastball was Wiles. Fouled it right side down over the hill toward the softball field, home of the 13-1 Armstrong Riverhawks varsity softball team. They are on the road today, I do believe. So that ball is outside. So now another Nationwide Logistics full count. This one on Zach Wiles. And missing upstairs is Inglis. So a 2-out walk drawn by Zach Wiles. He's down at first. Good speed. And Wiles, see if he's moving. With 2 down. And that'll turn the order over and bring Dustin Coleman back to the plate for his second at bat. Coleman, a leadoff single his first time up, right back up the middle. 4-base hit, pickoff attempt over, and Wiles is back under it in safely. See if the Riverhawks can rustle up some 2-out lightning here in the bottom of the second. And a strike thrown there by Inglis to his mound counterpart, Dustin Coleman. As I mentioned, Coleman and Brink, the 1-2 combination at the top of that Riverhawks rotation. That one just off the plate there by Inglis. That might have been that curveball, just missing off the plate. So a 1-1 pitch here. Coleman pops it up. Right field, Hay getting some work out there today, and he grabs it for out number 3. So that will do it for the Riverhawks in the bottom of the second inning. We're going to head to the third here shortly on this Bugsy's Pizza and Wings game day here on High Top Sports Network. WPIAL Class 5A Section 1 varsity baseball action. Armstrong hosting Fox Chapel scoreless as we head to the third. Thanks to Bugsy's Pizza and Wings, our official broadcast partner. Thanks to Carson Boyer Funeral Home, Armstrong Indoor Athletics, of course, Mills Chiropractic, our pregame sponsor today. Tell you a little bit more about Dr. Mills and how you can schedule your appointment at Mills Chiropractic Center. Maybe if I didn't just X out the tab right there that I had the information on. Let's try that again. Of course, you can schedule your appointment online at Mills Chiropractic Center. I mentioned during the pregame show that they offer DOT exams by certified medical examiners, $75 is a good price for that. And if you're interested in what kind of services they offer at Mills Chiropractic, well, of course, general chiropractic care is available, including scoliosis screening, gait analysis, lifestyle and posture evaluation, and trigger point analysis. They have full spine manipulation, extremity adjustments, cold laser therapy, and they also offer lifestyle counseling. What is lifestyle counseling, you might ask? Well, they believe in treating the whole body, and that includes helping you make smart lifestyle choices. Through their nutritional counseling service, they educate patients on the importance of good, balanced diets and create meals that are both healthy and enjoyable. With nutrition counseling, Mills Chiropractic Center can train you to make healthy choices that are sustainable in order to manage your weight loss and naturally relieve back and joint pain. So that's a cool added service you can get down there at Mills Chiropractic Center. Just check them out online, millschiropractic.com. And as I said, you can schedule your appointment there. Located just down the little road from the Belmont Complex, if you know where that is. So Coleman quickly ahead in the count. Oh, 0-2 right now after that foul ball from Troy Susnack. So Coleman keeping his pitch count in check so far. This will be pitch number 33 and a strikeout as Susnack goes down looking. Another Nationwide Logistics backwards K. Coleman, we've seen this out of him several times so far this year. Just cruising right along, being very efficient with his pitches. Only one walk allowed, and that is strikeout number 4 for the Armstrong senior right-hander. First pitch in there, swing and a miss for a strike. So Coleman not messing around. Delivery, another fastball just pumped right in there. Coleman quickly ahead, 0-2. And this is Dylan Geibel. Shows a bunt right there, fouls it. I thought that was 0-2, but they called that a ball, that second fastball. The umpire called it a ball. I don't know where it missed. Man, it looked good from my vantage point, but that bunt will be strike number 2 nonetheless. Coleman, oh, that one low. Good pick by Galinsky there behind the plate. Swing and a miss. Strikeout number 5 as Coleman goes back to the gas and gets Geibel. Dustin Coleman just firing strike after strike right now. And that was pitch number 37. Let's take a look at how efficient he has been. Boy, that was pitch number 38. 26 of those in there for strikes. Dustin Coleman just working. And right now, starting off another at bat with another first pitch strike. And this will be Joey Geller. And another strike. Coleman, he is not wasting any time, certainly not nibbling. Coleman going right at these Fox Chapel hitters. Coleman, the delivery just high right there. That'll miss upstairs to Geller. So 1-2 now the count. Dustin Coleman dealing aces right now for the Riverhawks. Swing and a miss and another strikeout. Wow, Dustin Coleman with a dominant third inning here against the Foxes. Strikeout looking, strikeout swinging. Coleman mows down the side. And the Riverhawks will be coming up to bat here shortly in the bottom of the third on this Bugsy's Pizza and Wings game day here on High Top Sports Network. Josh Reckengust here with you, all by myself, up here on the landing at Armstrong Stadium. I was telling my kids that it's kind of like you feel like a crazy person after 3-4 innings of calling a baseball game by yourself. You're just having a conversation with yourself. You know, I can hear myself in the earphones of the headset that I'm using with the microphone on it, so it's like I'm talking and listening to myself at the same time. Gonna have to develop another personality so I can liven this conversation up a little bit. So as I mentioned in the open there on the Mills Chiropractic pregame show, Riverhawks 10-6 coming into this one, and really that sweep by Franklin Regional, that's a tough one right there when you go down the line. Don't want the same thing to happen today against Fox Chapel. Going to try and split as they have done with the other teams in front of them, Plum and Penn Trafford. And Inglis starts off this at bat with a strike. Inglis pitching to Galinsky. He is 0 for 1 today. And Galinsky swings, hits a fly ball out to center. Barely having to move for that one was Fox Chapel center fielder Dylan Geibel. He took one step to his left and just waited on that ball, so hit right at him pretty much. That's going to bring up Caden Rupert, senior, leading this team in batting average, hitting .386 coming into this one, 0 for 1. And lays off that breaking pitch from Inglis outside for a ball. Rupert really coming into his own this season, both offensively and defensively, for first-year head coach Vincent Santelmo. And that pitch up high by Inglis. 2-0 now the count. Rupert showing some good plate discipline. Excuse me, that was 3-0. Apologies. 3-0 count now. And fastball right down the middle for a strike from Inglis. Three 1 incoming to Rupert. He takes a big hack at one, fouls it. Line drive off the batting cage out there. Out of play down the left field line. He roped it just a little bit in front of it. That ball might have been a little too far inside for him to properly handle as he yanked it out of play, foul ball. So that's going to be 3-2. Full count Nationwide Logistics style. Getting a lot of mentions today because we've had a lot of full counts today. As Rupert fouls that one away, out of play. So it will remain a full count. Full count delivery incoming. Rupert, that one might have been upstairs. Could have been ball 4 right there, but protecting that strike zone. Rupert takes a hack at it, fouls it behind the home plate screen right there, out of play. And Rupert chops it. This one foul down the left field line. So another full count delivery incoming from Inglis. Rupert waits on it, smacks it back up the middle. Diving stop, but can't get to his feet with the ball. Good play at shortstop right there by Fox Chapel, but as he tried to get back up, Johnson lost the handle on the ball, so that's going to be a base hit for Caden Rupert. Don't know how you could possibly rule that one an error. Diving attempt right there by Johnson. Got a glove on it, kept it in the infield, but couldn't make the transfer from the glove to the hand as he was getting back to his feet. So one aboard, one out. Swing and a miss. here by Schreckengost. Schreckengost, the unlucky recipient of an English fastball between the shoulder blades his first time up. Hit by a pitch. Curveball breaks back across the plate, went inside. That one might have crossed up Fox Chapel catcher Mitchell Epstein behind the plate, but as the ball broke back over, Epstein able to get a glove on it. And that ball upstairs to Schreckengost, so now he is in control. So Schreckengost awaiting the delivery here from Inglis. Way high, it tips off of the glove and out of play. And yeah, an advance right there. Not sure why Rupert stopped in his tracks, but that ball is a rising fastball, and jumping up to try and snag it was Epstein, but it hit the very tip of his glove and went over the backstop and out of play. So a wild pitch right there for Inglis. That'll allow Rupert to get down to second base, one away. 2-1 now the count to Schreckengost. 3-1 now the count to Schreckengost. Runner in scoring position. That's Rupert. Schreckengost swing and a miss. Make it a full count. Guess who? Nationwide Logistics. Our full count sponsor. And Schreckengost staying alive. Just waits for that one. Fouls it out of play. Inglis working here to Mason Schreckengost. Full count, one away. Runner on second base. Swung on and just tipped by Schreckengost there at the plate, so he stays alive. And that is forcing Inglis to throw more pitches, as Riverhawks have had some quality at bats so far in this one, yet nothing to show for it on the scoreboard. So full count, will Rupert take off with one away? He does not. And a swing and a miss. Inglis, after a battle from Mason Schreckengost, gets the Riverhawks number 3 hitter on cleanup hitter on a strikeout. That is Schreckengost's first strikeout, and that will be strikeout number 3 for Inglis. And that brings up senior shortstop Hayden Brink. First pitch, low and away. Good stop on the backhand there by the Fox Chapel catcher. So the 1-0 incoming from Inglis to Brink. And Brink, hard hit ground ball on 2 hops over to second base, just tossed on to first for the final out of the 3rd inning. So we're going to be right back here quickly with the 4th inning on this Bugsy's Pizza and Wings game day on High Top Sports Network. Josh Schreckengost here with you this afternoon. Hope everyone is enjoying the game, enjoying the view. It's beautiful up here. I'm enjoying it a lot better than some of the other weather conditions High Top has had to deal with so far this spring, so I'm appreciating it. Coleman obviously still on the mound out there for the Riverhawks. Only 42 pitches through 3 innings so far, so Coleman quickly and efficiently retiring the Foxes. Did so in big-time fashion last inning when he struck out the side. So both teams right now in a little bit of an offensive stalemate. Foxes getting good pitching out of Inglis. Of course, the Riverhawks have gotten great pitching out of Coleman all year long. While we have a moment, before the first batter for the Foxes. Let's take a look at those pitching stats for young Dustin Coleman. Coleman is 3-1 on the season. And only allowed 4 hits. Oh, wait, that's wrong. I was like, that can't be right. What category was that I was just on here? Whoops. I don't know where it went, but it was something that I thought was a good stat, and here I lost it. He has picked off 2 batters this year. Not many people have stolen a base against him. ERA at 2.51. And so far, 36 strikeouts for Coleman in 30 2/3 innings. Adding 6 more to that today. At least, that's where we're at so far with Coleman in the strikeout department. And right now, Coleman gives up a leadoff walk, so we've only seen 1 walk out of Dustin Coleman so far in this game. And that one will be surrendered to number 11, Zach Johnston, the shortstop for the Foxes in today's game. So now the leadoff runner is aboard for Fox Chapel. Up to the plate, Mitchell Epstein lays down the bunt. Going to be a tough play at third, firing, and got him. Nice play over there by Schreckengoss, getting it across to Badak. So the sacrifice bunt works properly for the Foxes. And that will allow Zach Johnson to advance to second base. One down now, lefty Jeremy Haig coming up, the right fielder. That ball low in front of the plate. Galinsky scooped it up. Got a strike there, foul that one out of play. One and one now, the count. Coleman missing high, and one thing that Coach Santelmo has told me about Dustin Coleman is that, sometimes he tries to do too much, and that's, not uncommon for a player with a leadership role on the team, because you feel if you're struggling, you don't want to have the team see you struggling, and then you press harder, and it just 9 times out of 10 does not work out. So you got to stay within yourself, within the game. And one thing Coach Santelmo had told me is, Dustin's really done a good job of that so far this year as compared to years past, where he's maybe been a little too pumped up at times. Coleman steps off right there. And pop up left side, Schreckengoss over for it. It stays in play, and he makes the grab. Big out right there as Coleman induces the pop up. Make it 2 away here for Fox Chapel. Oh, I don't know if I changed the inning. If I did not, I'm sorry. We'll get her there for you. No, I did, apparently, so that's good. And that one skips away, but Galinsky keeps it in front. Does not allow the runner to advance. That ball popped up deep right field. It's carrying. Oh, what a catch. Oh, no, it's off Wright's glove. It drops. I thought Wright was able to get back there, and it hit him in the webbing of the glove. It just kept carrying and carrying, sending Wright back to about 3 feet in front of the fence. And he reached up. Wright is a very tall kid. He got turned around a little bit. I mean, there's not much wind swirl or anything like that, but that ball kept carrying. I can't believe it when it came off the bat, and I think Wright had the same thought that I did. He kind of maybe took, you take that initial step back and kind of thought, well, it's going to come down right around here, but it just stayed up in the air. And boy, what an unlucky break there for the Riverhawks. As that ball, let's see, they rule it a double, so they're going to give a double and an RBI. That was number 15 for Fox Chapel. Dom Castle, the cleanup hitter, big first baseman for the Foxes. And I mean, I'm telling you, when that ball came off the bat, I thought that was a can of corn. And I think it's possible Braden Wright did too, but it just kept drifting. And Wright got all the way back to within maybe 2 or 3 feet in front of that fence. Reached up, got the webbing on it, and just looked like it popped right out of that webbing. Or right off the tip, something like that. So Fox Chapel on the board first here. RBI double by Castle. And Benny DeMott now at the plate. 2 down for the Foxes. 1-0 Fox Chapel leads. DeMott trying to make it 2 here with a base hit. Curveball missing upstairs from Coleman. And that one popped up to the right side. That one's not going to carry. Badak over and under it makes the grab, but Fox Chapel strikes first. The RBI double by Castle, just taking Armstrong right fielder Braden Wright to within arm's length of the fence. And Wright reached up to snag it, and it just hit that webbing at the top of the glove between the thumb and forefinger. You know, if you've ever had a baseball glove on, what it looks like. But it hit the top of that webbing and just squirted out. Once it was down, off to the races. And the first run of the game scored by the Foxes. Riverhawks coming up to bat here shortly. Bottom of the 4th inning, Bugsy's Pizza and Wings. It's our official broadcast partner. Thanks also to Steffi's Country Catering, our scoreboard sponsor, as you can see. Down at the bottom there. 724-548-5047. But Terry asks you to place your orders on the Facebook page at Terry Steffi, and he will confirm with you there. Or you can give him a call, of course. It's not like using a phone is against the law, especially not when you're ordering all of the good grub at Steffi's Country Catering. Had to stand up here. I got a little wooden stool behind my table and computer and camera setup here. Sometimes you sit on a wooden stool so long, the posterior begins to go numb. So I'm going to stand here while the Riverhawks come up to the plate. And boy, wouldn't Braden Wright like a chance here, leading off the bottom of the 4th to just crush one and even this score back up. I'm sure he's thinking about it. That one into left field, and it drops for a base hit. So, hey, Wright aboard First pitch, reached out, dropped it into left field. So the Riverhawks, again, get that leadoff runner on. Of course, Wright, he will come out right now for a pinch runner. Of course, you would know that how he was feeling after, and again, it was ruled a double. It's not an error on Wright by any means. It was a tough play, especially when that ball continued to carry out almost to the right field fence, but he reached up, got a glove on it. Originally, I thought he had it, and then I saw the ball just kind of squirt out of the tip of that webbing. And that allowed the Foxes to get on the board with the game's first run. But Wright did his job there, got on base. A leadoff single placed by a pinch runner. Take a look at the Riverhawks roster. I think that's number 44 out there. A very fond number to me, uniform number. It's the number I wore and my number my Uncle Steve wore. It is Chase Jablonski down there at first. So Jablonski kind of creeping off first just a little bit. Secondary lead doesn't go. And a swing and a miss. So Inglis doing a pretty good job himself on the mound for the Foxes today. I've been talking about Coleman with those strikeout numbers, but Inglis doing a heck of a job. He's been mixing up that slider and curveball very effectively for the Foxes. And right now we're got a pinch hitter up, and it's Wagaman. Don't know if I've seen him hit this year. So Wagaman now going to be playing first base in the place of Braden Wright once we get out into the field in the top of the fifth. But right now, Wagaman at the plate for the Riverhawks. Jablonski down there on first. Wagaman chops it right side. It gets through. And a pinch hit single, and that's going to send Jablonski toward third, and he's in there. So, boy, Jablonski uses the wheels to get from first to third on a chopper between first and second. Coming up big right there with the pinch hit single. Ryan Wagaman. So now the Riverhawks have the tying run just 90 feet away in the form of Chase Jablonski. Nobody out. Ryan Wagaman, a huge pinch hit right there. And Wagaman in there for the easy steal. And unlike the Pittsburgh Pirates, Fox Chapel did not throw through on a double steal attempt. You see, that's what you're supposed to do with the ball, Austin Hedges. You're supposed to fake the throw to second base and maybe get the guy on third leaning instead of throwing through and allowing the runner at third base to easily swipe home. But hey, who am I to judge? All I know is when I saw him let that ball go towards second base, I said, there's a run. And certainly was, and that's why you don't do it. They teach you that pretty early in Little League if you are donning the tools of ignorance, as the catcher's equipment is called. Swing and a miss right there. Now 2 runners in scoring position for the Riverhawks. And Nick Kinter. Boy, wouldn't it be nice to see Kinter turn one around. He served one out to right field the first time he faced Inglis. Turned out to be a fly out to Haig. Armstrong looking to possibly tie this game or take the lead. Count even at 2-2. Nick Kinter in the right-handed batter's box right now. And he ropes one into right field, a base hit. That'll score. Jablonski making the turn right now and holding up, hitting the brakes about, a little bit more than a third of the way down the third baseline was Wagaman. That was a good throw coming in from right field as Haig came up firing, but Nick Kinter ties this game up with an opposite field base hit. RBI single for Kinter. Ties us up at 1 apiece and brings home Chase Jablonski, the pinch runner who came in for Braden Wright, as Wright led off with an opposite field single. And advancing to second base on the throw was Nick Kinter. So heads up running there by Kinter. Not only to get that line drive to drop in right side, but Jablonski kind of baited. Oh, what are we doing here? Well, timeout, I'm guessing. A mound visit. So now everyone going to make a visit to the huddle. That's a Nationwide Logistics mound visit, I do believe. Hi-yo, yes it is. So tied at 1 here, bottom of the 4th. You're watching WPIAL Class 5A Section 1 Varsity Baseball here on High Top Sports Network. Zach Wiles coming to the batter's box for the Riverhawks. 1-0 is the count on Wiles. And Wiles hits that one foul. So Kinter got the first run home here for the Riverhawks. Haig came charging in to field that base hit to right field and fired home as Wagaman had to put on the brakes nearly halfway between third and home. And that pop-up caught at third base, so runners unable to advance as Wiles pops up for the first out of the inning. Armstrong still has 2 runners in scoring position. Kinter out at second, Kinter at second and Wagaman at third. And right now, big chance for Dustin Coleman. 1 for 2 today against Inglis. Inglis up to 79 pitches. This will be number 80 on this delivery. And Coleman ropes it into left field. Base knock, that's going to score 1. And holding at third base is Kinter. So on the first pitch of this at-bat, Coleman turns one around, rips it into left field. Go ahead RBI single for Dustin Coleman. Armstrong now up 2-1. Good piece of hitting right there, and now looks like we're going to get a pitching change for Fox Chapel. That's my guess, at least. Yeah, we're going to see who comes in here shortly. Oh boy, this hasn't happened to me all season. The sun is directly hitting me. Oh, it feels great. Unbelievable. Well, bringing in a lefty, it looks like here is Fox Chapel. Let's see who that lefty will be. Trying to figure out the number here, and can't really see it. Don't know if that's a 2. Oh, heck, I don't know. It's a little too far away for me to see right now. Should have brought the binoculars. Joe Rhodes always puts them out for me, and I always forget them. In fact, it's probably the most forgotten item for baseball, because I always think, man, I could use those. It's tough to watch a baseball game through the binoculars, though. That's probably kind of why subconsciously I always just leave them home, or, put it out of my mind somehow until later when I'm broadcasting the game and I can't see a guy's number, which is when they'd be most helpful, of course. But it's tough to watch an entire baseball game through a pair of binoculars. So it looks like in for the Foxes right now will be number 8, Franco Pistella. Great aim right there for a ball player. And throw over, but back underneath it is Coleman. Pistella has to remember that Kinter is over there at third, so ball gets away. That's an easy run for Armstrong. At the plate right now, Logan Galinsky, another pickoff attempt, and that one was high. Castle had to jump for it. We got a pickoff there behind the play, or excuse me, a caught stealing. There's Fester. Came in once again for Coleman to pinch run and got him down there as they tried to advance. Still a runner down at third. That is Kinter. And that one popped up. Johnston underneath it and makes the grab. But the Riverhawks take their first lead of the afternoon with a couple of runs in the bottom of the 4th inning. That was after Fox Chapel scored a run in the top of the frame. We're going to head to the 5th here on this Bugsy's Pizza and Wings game day on High Top Sports Network. My name is Josh Reckengos. Thanks for tuning in today. I don't know where I put my score. Oh, there it is. Couldn't see it. It was behind a little piece of metal there, so I couldn't see it. But we'll get her updated for you. 2-1, as I mentioned, heading to the 5th. Still out there for the Riverhawks, Dustin Coleman. And as I mentioned a couple of times so far in this game, doing a good job with his pitch count. Very efficient so far for Dustin Coleman. Pull it up here real fast and take a look. Coleman just 60 pitches so far through the first 4 innings. 38 of them, 4 strikes, so a good percentage. Getting the ball across the plate, especially on that first pitch. Coleman's been getting a lot of first pitch strikes. So Armstrong able to plate a couple in the bottom of the 4th there to take the 2-1 lead. That is as many runs as they scored yesterday. Playing a lot better defensively, that's for sure. The Riverhawks made 5 errors yesterday in the game. So far today, none for either team, and Coleman limiting the Foxes to just 1 hit. It's that double that just tipped off a right's glove from Castle and able to get a runner home with the lone Fox Chapel run. Johnston came around to score. Johnston had walked. Now, Coleman heading into his 5th inning of work here. First pitch in there for a strike. You got to be impressed with this bulldog mentality of Dustin Coleman. He is going right at these Fox Chapel hitters, not even trying to give them an opportunity to see extra pitches. And then a quick foul ball out of play. So now 0-2. At the plate right now, the leadoff batter is Jack Resick. Pretty sure he struck out his first time up. And Coleman curveball over the top, missing outside. 1-2 now the count to Jack Resick. Coleman getting a pop-up right around home plate. Will it stay in? Galinsky right up against the screen at the backstop. Makes the grab. And a nice play. So one away as Dustin Coleman gets the pop-up. Galinsky grabs it right in front of the backstop. One away here. Top of the 5th inning. Fox Chapel at the plate. One down as Resick skies out and flies out behind the plate. Coleman in there again. First pitch strike. Boy, he's making a living doing that today. Dustin Coleman trying to put this Riverhawks team on his back and get a much-needed win. Swing and a miss. Coleman has that fastball working extremely well this afternoon. And a little ground ball there to first base. Picked up on a couple of hops by Wagaman. He walks over, steps on first base. And that will retire Troy Susnack with the ground out. So quickly 2 down. Only 8 pitches thrown so far this inning for Coleman. That's kind of what I was going to keep an eye on myself to see how many it would take him to get through this 5th. Fouled out of play. Because if he keeps it around 12, you know, you're going into the 6th with 72 pitches thrown. That's money territory to try and get that complete game. And as I said, only 1 hit allowed today by Dustin Coleman. That one just up out of the strike zone, missing just high as Dylan Geibel kind of gave a little crouch there to get under that one. That one low from Coleman. So Coleman trying to work here for another 1-2-3 inning. Geibel at the plate today, 0 for 1 in this one. Coleman fires. That one catches the corner. So a nice pitch right there. Good location by Coleman. Outside corner right at the knees. And now a 2-2 count. Coleman trying to get out of this quickly here in the 5th. And the curveball got him. Backwards K. Dustin Coleman. Boy, a magnificent performance turned in through 5 so far by Dustin Coleman. The Nationwide Logistics backwards K ends it as Coleman freezes Geibel for the 3rd out. And we will head to the bottom of the 5th inning here on this Bugsy's Pizza and Wings game day on High Top Sports Network. My name is Josh Schreckengoss. Thanks for tuning in. We finally got a baseball game in this week. Plenty of rain here in southwestern PA throughout the first 4 days of this week, and we got rained out all over the place, so wish us luck over the next several days as we try and broadcast the games that were originally scheduled. We know people are going to be jamming them in all over the place. So keep your fingers crossed that we're able to be everywhere and get those games in, and keep your fingers crossed for good weather too. We'd like that. Possibly continue. It's gorgeous today. It's supposed to be nice tomorrow, and then the rain on Sunday. And I'm looking at next week right now. Seems like the only day that there's a chance of rain during the week is Tuesday. The rest of the week looks pretty solid. So let's all pray to the baseball and softball gods that the weather holds and we'll be able to get some great, meaningful action here on the baseball and softball diamonds as teams jockey for playoff position and try and make the postseason, and that's what the Riverhawks are trying to do with a victory here in this one. Keep those playoff hopes alive. And that one just dribbled out in front, picked up, and thrown on to first base. Score that one 1-3 in your program, if you have one. You probably don't, because there aren't any programs here. But if you're keeping score at home, a little two-hopper there back to the mound by Rupert and tossed over for the first out of the inning. On the hill for the Foxes is Franco Pistella. He came in to relieve Inglis, who started this game. Ryan Inglis went 3 1/3, I believe. Pull it up here on the box score. Yeah, Inglis 3 1/3, 7 hits, 2 runs allowed. Both of them earned, only 1 walk, 3 strikeouts. And then Pistella came in, got the last 2 outs. And a strike inside corner with that fastball. Pistella, the lefty, working right now for the Foxes. At the plate, Mason Schreckengost with 1 away. Schreckengost waits on it. And a base hit to left field. So Mason Schreckengost is aboard with 1 out in the bottom of the 5th inning. Riverhawks able to score 2 there in the bottom of the 4th to take the lead. And that's going to bring up Hayden Brink, the shortstop. See if Brink is able to maybe catch a gap right here and let Schreckengost show off the wheels. Good speed at first base there in Schreckengost. Brink, obviously plenty of power, and able to find the gaps here in this big ballpark, especially in left center. And Pistella drops that one in there. Off speed pitch by Franco Pistella. So he is now ahead of Brink. 0-2 now the count, so Brink got to protect that plate. And he fouls it away off the gear of the catcher. Mitchell Epstein behind the plate there for the Fox Chapel Foxes. And Pistella misses high. That's a ball away. So 1-2 now the count. Brink 1 for 2 today. And the inside, that looked somewhat off speed there from Pistella, and Brink chops it toward the Armstrong dugout. Foul ball. And a swing and a miss, high fastball. Brink goes down on strikes. Pistella kind of inside-outside in that at bat against Brink and went upstairs. High and outside on the fastball. Brink couldn't lay off. So a swing and a miss for a strikeout. His first strikeout, Pistella, that is, of the afternoon. He came in, as I mentioned, last inning to relieve Inglis. Off-speed pitch there. Swung through by Wright. Wright 1 for 2. Got that 2-run fourth inning started with a leadoff single to left field. That ball high from Pistella. 1-1 now. Schreckengoss still down there at first. Singled prior to Brink's at bat. And Wright, good cut right there. Fouled it straight back and out of play. So now Pistella ahead 1-2. Off-speed pitch missing upstairs there to Braden Wright. So 2-2 the count. And a swing and a miss on the high fastball. So Wright goes down on strikes, missing that high heat. So Pistella gave up a 1-out single there to Mason Schreckengoss, but back-to-back strikeouts with the high fastball. And that's going to send us to the 6th inning. Riverhawks clinging to that 1-run lead. Dustin Coleman has been making it stand up. Excellent inning last inning in the 5th there for Coleman, and we'll go over his line really quickly here in the Armstrong Indoor Athletics broadcast booth. Make sure you check out AIA.team, the website for Armstrong Indoor Athletics, the premier baseball and softball training facility in the region. And register your young baseball player that is, for the 4th annual Armstrong Indoor Athletics Baseball Championship Camp. The Champ Camp coming up here June 12th through the 16th. And all of the instruction, drills, scrimmages, that will all take place from 8 a.m. to noon every day between the 12th and the 16th right here at Armstrong Junior Senior High School. Check out AIA.team for registration information. Also, information about rentals and lessons that you can get your baseball or softball player at Armstrong Indoor Athletics. So make sure you check them out. They're a fantastic sponsor of High Top Sports Network and our coverage of not just baseball and softball here, but the other sports we cover at Armstrong. They've sponsored our football broadcasts, hockey broadcasts, basketball, of course. First pitch swung on. Coleman gets a pop-up, and it's going to drop out of play, left side. So aggressive there on the first pitch. Leadoff batter for the Foxes. And that is Joey Geller, the catcher for Fox Chapel. Second pitch was in there. Strike 2 looking. Curveball. Oh, just missed right there. That one just a little bit high from Coleman. Geller, see the knees buckle a little bit on it. Ball 1. That makes it a 1-2 count. Coleman really, throughout this entire, got him. Backwards K again. Another Nationwide Logistics backwards K for Dustin Coleman. Doesn't even let me finish my thought because he's like, I'm not wasting any time here. Goes right back to that curveball. And down goes Geller for the first out of the inning. But really, I mean, Coleman has been in cruise control. The only hit of this game for Fox Chapel was that RBI double by Castle. And, I mean, were it not for really an unlucky break, Braden Wright getting turned around, that ball just carrying all the way nearly to the fence, and Wright turned around, reached up for it, got his glove on it. I thought he had it originally. It popped out, And that one ripped down the left field line, but foul. But, I mean, aside from that, think about it. If Wright grabs that ball, we got a no-hitter going here for Coleman. He has really brought his A game today in a must-win situation for this Armstrong baseball team. 8 strikeouts so far for Coleman. Only 2 walks allowed. Fastball off the plate right there. Galinsky tried to frame it, but unable to pull that one back in, so that'll even the count up at 1-1. And I didn't see what happened there. Foul ball. Zach Johnston, the shortstop for the Foxes at the plate. That one low. Galinsky knocks it down, keeps it in front. And Coleman gets a ground ball. Two-hopper to Brink, long throw, and fires a bullet right on to Badak over there at first for the second out of the inning. Boy, Hayden Brink threw a strike there. That was kind of a slow two-hopper and busting it down the line. Give Johnson some credit. He was on his horse trying to get down the line and beat that one out, but Brink able to fire an absolute strike across the diamond to Logan Badak. So 2 down, and another chopper here. High chopper. Brink's going to have a little bit more time, and he gets it. 6-3 put out, and Dustin Coleman getting out of that 6th inning. Just 84 pitches thrown so far in this one, so he will have a chance in the 7th to go the distance and possibly keep the Riverhawks playoff hopes alive. Just an absolutely dominant performance on the hill from Dustin Coleman today. Good defense behind him. Yesterday, those 5 errors in the field for Armstrong. They have come back today and played very clean behind Coleman. And we're going to head to the bottom of the 6th here on this Bugsy's Pizza and Wings game day on High Top Sports Network. Josh Schreckengast along with you. Thanks to all of our awesome sponsors here today. Armstrong Indoor Athletics, Nationwide Logistics, Steffi's Country Catering. Devon Chiropractic will be our player of the game sponsor. We'll mention that on the Ryan Bowser State Farm postgame show. Of course, Bugsy's, our official broadcast partner. Carson Boyer Funeral Home, Mills Chiropractic, our team of sponsors here for Armstrong Riverhawks baseball coverage in 2023. Riverhawks looking to add some insurance here if possible, but Pistella has been pretty solid for Fox Chapel since entering the game. Oh, wow, that warm-up pitch was about 51 feet from Pistella. Hard bounce off the turf and into Geller's glove. And boy, that was interesting because I always try and watch the pitchers during the broadcast here, what they look like during their warm-up pitches, what their body language looks like, kind of what they're doing. And that one, basically Pistella just spiked it about 10, 11 feet short of home plate. So leading off for the Riverhawks will be Carson Delano, pinch hit. Here to lead off in the bottom of the 6th inning. Delano had some really good moments here this year for the Riverhawks. On the hill, in the field, at the plate. Delano, sophomore, doing a good job here for the Riverhawks. Not starting today, but getting a chance to pinch hit here against Pistella to lead off the bottom of the 6th. Looks like Coach Santelmo is over there letting the Fox Chapel dugout know about the pinch hitter and what defensive alignment will come out of that. Delano in there to pinch hit for Badak. So, first pitch from Pistella. Oh, it caught the bat as Delano checked his swing, but it caught a piece of the bat there. Foul ball. So, a strike on Delano with that foul ball. Pistella able to use that high fastball to get right and Brink last inning on strikeouts. Let's see what the lefty does here against Carson Delano. Leadoff batter for the Riverhawks here in the bottom of the sixth. Changeup right there. That one just dropped off the table. Don't know if that was a changeup or a sinker, but definitely slower. Delano right over the top of it, just dropped. Outside fastball missing there by Pistella, so that'll even the count at 2-2. And curveball dropped in there, freezing Delano. Nationwide Logistics backwards K for Franco Pistella. And he gets the first out of the inning. Has struck out 3 straight Riverhawks. Got Brink and Wright to end the fifth and starts Delano off with a called third strike. That one in at the knees. Boy, that looked a little bit low from here. So a strike called there by the home plate umpire. First pitch. I think this is Kinter at the plate. It is Nick Kinter. Big hit for him. 1 for 2, an RBI single. Kinter fouls that one away toward the Riverhawks dugout. 2 strikes now, so Pistella ahead of Kinter 0-2. And that fastball misses low. Pistella into the line, grounded towards third. Picked up, tossed across, and that's out number 2. As Kinter grounds out to third base, 5-3. Score that one. Nice little running play there by Susnak at third. So 2 down here in the Riverhawks half of the sixth. I believe that's going to bring up Zach Wiles. Wiles today 0 for 1. First pitch by Pistella in there for a strike. So Pistella has done a nice job in relief of Ingles, or Inglis, excuse me. Trying to keep the Riverhawks off the board and keep his team within 1 as that ball is fouled out of play by Wiles so quickly. 0-2 to Zach Wiles. Pistella pitching out of the stretch. And Wiles gets a good piece of that one, but right at the left fielder. And it'll be grabbed for out number 3. Wiles hit that ball hard, but it traveled out there to Geller, who's playing left field now, with Epstein behind the plate. And that is out number 3. So, after 6 full, Riverhawks on top 2-1. And a chance for Dustin Coleman to slam the door on the Foxes here in the 7th inning on this Bugsy's Pizza and Wings game day on High Top Sports Network. Josh Reckengust here with you this afternoon. It's been a good one. Some fantastic pitching on both sides. And if Coleman can shut the door here, keep the Riverhawks playoff hopes alive, it would be Dustin Coleman's 4th win of the season. You look down at Coleman's numbers this year, and they have been, boy, just top-notch. 3-1 on the year. Only 24 hits allowed in 30 innings. 30 and 2/3 innings, excuse me. Only 11 earned runs allowed over the course of the season for Dustin Coleman. As I mentioned, that ERA 2.51. 36 strikeouts in 30 and 2/3 coming into this game. You can add 8 more to that right now. So Coleman has an absolute swirl of, I don't know if those are little dandelion spores flying around there. Boy, I think it is. The dandelions get picked up by the wind right there, and it flew right in front of me. 8 strikeouts today for Coleman. First pitch off the plate right there for a ball. 2-1 Riverhawks, 7th inning. At the plate right now for the Foxes is Jeremy Haig, the right fielder. Coleman gets that one. Haig popped it up, but it's going to drop. Not a good break on that one by Delano. He kind of froze. Don't know if he thought it was hit harder than it actually was, but Delano kind of froze there in right field, and that allowed Haig to drop that ball right in front of the Armstrong right fielder. Delano came in to pinch hit last inning, and now out in right field. So a break right there for Fox Chapel. Leadoff runner aboard, and they're going to pinch run for Haig. Don't see the number just yet. Try and find that throw over. Let the runner back safely. Try and see if I can get a number of the Fox Chapel pinch runner here. That ball, first pitch sky towards Harkle Road. It's deep. Harkle Road ranging back. He's going to have room. He makes the grab. First out of the inning. Harkle Road fires it back in. Boy, that was similar to the one that Wright got, and it just kept carrying, but Harkle Road found his footing and made the grab there for the first out of the inning. That one came off the bat of Dom Castle, so it was Castle again. Skied that one to center field. A little bit more room for Harkle Road, and he was able to kind of drift with the ball as it kept carrying. First out. That's a big one, showing sacrifice bunt here. Runner off and running. Galinsky, a good throw down. Is the tag on? Oh, underneath it. The ball is out. It goes into center field. I got blocked a little bit by the scoreboard. It was a delayed call there by the umpire. He was looking for the ball, but it got kicked out to center. So a stolen base puts the tying run in scoring position with 1 out. And Benny DeMott at the plate right now for Fox Chapel. See if he shows bunt again. Try and get that runner 90 feet closer. DeMott does not show bunt. Pops it up out of play. That'll even the count at 1-1. Coleman, that was pitch number 91. So I'm sure nothing Coleman would like more than to get through DeMott quickly here and have a chance to go the distance and pick up this much-needed win for the Riverhawks. Coleman gets DeMott to foul one off again. Ranging over is right, but that one's going to get out of play. 2 strikes now, 1-2 the count. Pinch runner out there at second base, I believe is number 1, Matthew Zoshk. Wow, that's an interesting spelling of that name. So the 1-2 pitch from Coleman. DeMott, oh, it just misses high. Couple Riverhawks, you could hear them from the dugout. They thought that was strike 3. And DeMott lives to fight for another pitch as Coleman just missed upstairs. The 2-2 delivery. DeMott steps out. So Coleman now at 93 pitches. Got a 2-2 count on DeMott. Zoshk at second. The tying run here for the Foxes. Coleman taking a long look at Matthew Zoshk and steps off, so Zoshk retreats to second base. Coleman now looking in at Galinsky for the sign. 2-2 pitch Upcoming to DeMont, one away, and fouled away again. That one toward the right side. Will Delano get there? Nope, it lands out of play. DeMont got a pretty good piece of that one down the right field line. It wouldn't have been long enough to get out, but just landing probably about 8 feet over the fence there and out of play. So DeMont staying alive with another foul ball right there. Coleman, curveball upstairs, misses. So now we have yet another Nationwide Logistics full count. This one certainly the most important one of the day. Coleman trying to get DeMont, and ripped right at Brink. He knocks it down. Gonna have a chance, fires it over right. It came off the bag. Oh no. Zaj unable to advance right there as that ball was ripped right at Hayden Brink. He knocked it down, fired across. The throw was high and up the line a little bit, but right came off the bag. I don't know if he couldn't hold it. Wright's a big guy with a long wingspan, and it just looked like he came off the bag there, trying to make sure that throw didn't get past him. So an error right there. I don't know who they're going to give it to. But now Fox Chapel has runners at first and second base. And the first error of the game for Armstrong coming at the worst possible time. And they give it to Brink on the throw. So the only good thing about that particular play was that Zaj at second couldn't move up because the ball was hit right to Brink, right beside him. And that pitch in there for a strike by Coleman. So 2 aboard for the Foxes. Getting down to crunch time, man. Even I'm nervous. Out here 512 feet away. Oh, and that pitch, Galinsky made a nice backhanded stop right there. As maybe Coleman tried to overthrow that one just a little bit. This is number 14. Jack Resick at the plate, 0 for 2 today. So Coleman trying to get Resick, then maybe ease a little bit of the tension. But right now, 2 aboard for Fox Chapel, 2 on, 1 out. That curveball just off the plate doesn't get the call. And that was Coleman's 100th pitch. Now makes it a Nationwide Logistics full count with 2 runners on. 3-2 pitch incoming here to Resick from Coleman. Got him! Swinging a miss. Dustin Coleman with the gas. Sends Resick back to the dugout. Now the Riverhawks just 1 out away from securing a victory which will keep their postseason hopes alive. And Coleman over 100 pitches now. That was 102, so he is going to come out. And from the game changer, which updated surprisingly before Coach Santelmo even left the dugout, it looks like Braden Wright, the lefty, is going to come in and try and close the door and pick up a save here for the Riverhawks. A really high-intensity, high-pressure situation for the sophomore, Braden Wright. That's what it says on the game changer. It was like before Coach Santelmo even walked out. It said now pitching for Armstrong, Braden Wright. So a big, big spot here for the sophomore lefty. Braden Wright just needs to get 1 out. And he will be facing a right-handed batter, number 25, Troy Susnack, the third baseman. So let's see if Wright is able to secure this victory, a much-needed win. Truly back to the wall here for the Riverhawks. taking his warm-up pitches right now. Let's see where they have, see if they've reinserted Coleman into the, yep, he just switched places there with Braden Wright. So Coleman will be at first. And a couple appearances where I've gotten to see Braden Wright on the mound. He's had some trouble really kind of snapping his curveball off. He threw one right there on the warm-up pitch right as I'm talking about it, and you were able to see it on your screen. That one looked good. You know, you're coming over the top there as a left-hander, and you really want that 12-6 bite on it. But a couple of times this year where Wright has come in relief, hasn't been able to really get over the top on that curveball. I'm sure he's been working on it. So we'll see what he goes to here. Riverhawks just 1 out away from picking up their 11th win of the season. More importantly, staying alive in the WPIAL postseason picture in Classification 5A. In their section games this year, they've swept Penn Hills, split with Penn Trafford, split with Plum, now trying to split with Fox Chapel. They were swept by Franklin Regional. And Wright's first pitch in there for a strike at the knees, inside corner. Nice way to start there for Braden Wright against Susnack, who is 0 for 2 today. Zajk at second. Second pitch, that's low. Ball 1 for the Foxes. Zajk at second, as I said, and Benny DeMott, who reached because of a Hayden Brink throwing error over there at first. Wright, swing and a miss. And so now the Riverhawks are 1 strike away from capturing a crucial early May victory here at Armstrong Junior Senior High School. The 1-2 from Wright. Down low, bounces away from Galinsky. Zoshk is off and running, and he'll slide into third without a throw. So now the tying run 90 feet closer for the Foxes. Right in a battle here with Susnack, and stepping off. I don't know what happened there. They're going to just give DeMott second base. I know you don't want to do it. You don't want to get in that rundown because that would allow Zajk to get in there and score. So you just give DeMott second base. And now Wright can concentrate on Susnack. The 2-2 just misses. So I had mentioned the previous Nationwide Logistics full count as the most important. Well, this one trumps it. Full count here, Wright against Susnack. And it's a walk, ball 4. So Fox Chapel stays alive as Susnack, who was down in the count, able to draw the walk from Wright. And Dustin Coleman going to jog over and tell Wright, look, you can't be too fine right here. We're out here behind you. We got you. Just throw those strikes. Coleman puts an arm around Wright, and that is what a true senior leader does. Look, you saw Coleman just go 6 2/3, pitch an absolute gem for the Riverhawks. Wright, obviously a sophomore, not as experienced. Probably got some jitters right now. And now Galinsky is going to go out and talk to Braden Wright. So a couple of seniors getting in Wright's ear, trying to calm him down maybe a bit. And Galinsky trots back to home plate. So now with the bases loaded, 2 down, Dylan Geibel at the plate for the Foxes. Tying run on third. Go-ahead run on second. First pitch from Wright. Swing and a miss. Good pitch right there. Had Geibel waving. So out in front with that first pitch strike. That's big right there for Braden Wright. And the Riverhawks, the 0-1, right on the corner. Doesn't get the call. Galinsky, well, it hit him right where the glove was set up, but must have just been off the plate a touch. 1-1 the count now to Geibel. Bases loaded, infield about double play depth. That one low, blocked by Galinsky. 2-1 now, so right behind in the count. Nowhere to put Dylan Geibel. A walk ties this game, and Wright delivers the 2-1. That misses. So now 3-1 the count. Braden Wright has to throw a strike right now. Geibel in control, 3-1 count. As I mentioned, infield right around double play depth. Don't need a double play, of course, but you don't want to be the whole way in. That pitch is a strike! Oh my goodness! Oh man. Well, if the Riverhawks get out of this one, that is a crucial strike call, because that looked low from all the way out here, and here is the full count. Chopped over Brink at shortstop, throws to second. They get the force out. Game over. The Riverhawks win in a high-pressure, nerve-wracking situation here in the 7th. Somehow, some way, the Armstrong Riverhawks stay alive in the postseason hunt as they grind out a thrilling 2-1 victory over the Fox Chapel Foxes here at Armstrong Junior Senior High School. Geibel on the full count pitch, chopped it to Brink. He turned, looked, and tossed over to Kinter at second base to get the game-ending force out. Wow. Boy, like I said, that one got me nervous up here. I was nervous for Braden Wright, especially when the count went to 3-1, and the pitch that he delivered did not look like a strike to me, but he got the call from the umpire, and then the next pitch induces the game-ending fielder's choice. Geibel grounds it to Brink. Brink tosses it to Kinter. Game over. Riverhawks hang on. Armstrong victorious 2-1. And that'll bring us to the Ryan Bowser State Farm postgame show. And the first thing we like to do on the Ryan Bowser State Farm postgame show, aside from telling you that Ryan is a licensed insurance agent in downtown Ford City, you can visit him online. Get a free quote, RyanBowserSF.com. It's not just car insurance down there. Ryan can help you with all types of insurance products, as well as financial services, banking services, and healthcare services. So make sure you give Ryan a call if you are in need of any of those things. Ryan Bowser State Farm, downtown Ford City, RyanBowserSF.com. So on the Ryan Bowser State Farm postgame, the first thing we do is we name the DeMond Chiropractic Center player of the game. And for the third time this season, Dustin Coleman will be our DeMond Chiropractic Center player of the game. I don't think there is even a remote argument for anyone else on either side, as Coleman just really stepped up and delivered the kind of pitching performance that these Riverhawks absolutely needed. There was no, we could use one. No, they needed it. And Dustin Coleman, the senior captain, that is why he is one of the senior captains on this team, just took the ball, went out there and mowed Fox Chapel down, and it really had to stink for him to give it up there with 2 outs in the 7th. But sometimes that's the way the game plays out. And Braden Wright came in, gave up a walk to load the bases, but able to get the game-ending ground out there on a full count. The Riverhawks survive. So Dustin Coleman's line, we're going to go down through it really quickly. Pardon me, had a little cough there. Apologies for that. So we're going to go down through Coleman's line right here. And you take a look at this 2-1 victory. As I said, Coleman's 4th win of the season. He has 4 of the Riverhawks wins. So does Hayden Brink. So right there, 8 of the 11 coming from those 2 guys. But Coleman today, just a fantastic outing. No other words, really. I mean, there are plenty of other words. Lots of great adjectives to describe what Dustin Coleman did today. full of heart, gutsy, whatever you want to call it. 6 2/3 innings pitched, only 2 hits allowed. 1 run, it was earned, 2 walks, and 9 strikeouts, and he got that 9th strikeout on his last pitch of the game. Really reached back and found a little bit extra to get that strikeout to make it 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th, and then Braden Wright comes on to pick up the save. So now the Riverhawks are going to need some help. They're going to need Penn Trafford to lose, and I believe if Penn Trafford loses, I want to see who it's to. I think Franklin Regional. I'm going to check it out real fast here while we're on the Ryan Bowser State Farm post-game show. But I'm pretty sure they need to lose to Franklin Regional. And if they do get that loss, that would help the Riverhawks immensely, of course. Trying to pull up the standings here. I don't know why that... Okay. Well, bear with me. We got a call here. Hold on. Yeah, it's got to be Dustin. All right. That was Coach Santelmo. He always calls me after the game so we can get our DeMond Chiropractic Center player of the game up here. And I'm sure you heard that come through my microphone right there. I said, it's got to be Dustin. And there's really, I don't know how you could make an argument for anybody else, as I said. Right when we got started here. Dustin Coleman just fantastic today. 9 strikeouts, as I said, that 1 run. Really just a bad break. It goes off of Braden Wright's glove in the outfield there. And, other than that, I mean, he was shutting them down. They had no hits. That was the first hit that Coleman had allowed until the 7th inning. So, I mean... I can't pull the standings up because there's an ad blocker on this thing. So either way, I'm pretty sure that Penn Trafford needs to lose to Franklin Regional for the Riverhawks to now qualify for the WPIAL Class 5A playoffs. We'll wait for Dustin to make his way over here. Tell you what's coming up next on High Top Sports Network. I'll pull up the game changer here. We'll be out at Kiski tomorrow afternoon. Yep, a rare Saturday game here on High Top Sports Network. The Cavaliers actually lost to North Catholic today, 4-2. That one over prior to the beginning of this one. But that game goes off from Kiski Area High School at 2:30 p.m. So if you're looking for some afternoon high school baseball, well, tune in to High Top Sports Network. We'll be over there as the Cavaliers try and split with the Trojans. And then next week, those two teams, Kiski Area and Armstrong, will go at it at Kiski. We'll have that game, of course, since we cover both of those teams. And the Armstrong Riverhawks varsity softball team continuing to roll as they took care of Kiski today, 10-0. Take a look at that box score real fast. And Riverhawks got 1 in the first, 4 in the fourth, 4 in the fifth, and 1 in the sixth. Cameron Sprankle, a complete game, 2-hitter. Did not allow a run and struck out 7. Home run from Jesse Pugh. And Jesse Pugh knocked in 3, scored twice, 2 for 4 on the day. Emma Paul continuing to just tear the cover off the ball. 3 for 3 with 2 runs scored and 3 doubles today. Emma Paul's got to be up around 600 for the year. She is just having a fantastic season, most especially offensively. She's really, if you look at Emma, and this comes up quite a bit. It came up with one of my post-game interviews with her. She's 5'3". You look at her, and you don't think this girl can hit the ball out of the ballpark with consistency, but she sure can. And she gave an interview, I believe, to the Post-Gazette saying that she likes it whenever she hears other teams telling their infield to move in and watch the bunt. I mean, if they did any research, they would know that Emma Paul, she can swing a mighty powerful bat. And doing it again today with 3 more extra base hits as the Riverhawks win their 14th game in a row. The only loss this season for Armstrong. That season opener against Hempfield, that was it. So we'll have the Riverhawks. They are at home against Franklin Regional, the softball team that is, at home against Franklin Regional on Monday of next week. That's what's on the schedule right now. And they'll also be at home on Wednesday of next week against Pine Richland for a non-conference game. So we'll have both of those games for the Riverhawks. I'm not sure if they will pick up any more. That would give them 17 games. I know they're allowed 20. So, they had to cancel a couple that they had picked up previously. So we'll see if they are able to pick up any more. And, of course, next week, the Riverhawks baseball team at Highlands. Then they'll be playing North Catholic at Pullman Park. We're going to try and do that one. Don't think that has been 100% confirmed yet, but we're in the midst of trying to get there to Pullman Park. A really cool place in Butler. Minor league field there. A lot of history behind Pullman Park. It's been rebuilt quite a few times, actually. Really a cool spot to do a high school baseball game. So hopefully we're out there. I believe it's going to be a night game under the lights at Pullman. So once we get that figured out, you'll be able to follow along online and see if we are going to be there for the Riverhawks and Trojans in that non-conference game. So the final score here, 2-1, waiting on Dustin Coleman. I don't see him just yet, but he'll be here. He's been player of the game twice already, and this is the third time, as I said, so he knows the drill. Take a quick break real fast. 1 second, I'm going to cough again, and I don't want to do it into the microphone, so I'll be right back. I could feel it coming on there, so at least I had enough time to make an adjustment. Before I coughed into my mic, I only was able to cover it with my hand the last time I coughed, so able to mute there for a quick second as we await the arrival of one Dustin Coleman, our DeMond Chiropractic Center player of the game. And while we await Dustin, I don't see him just yet. I have a pretty good vantage point. I can see them walking or whatever down around. What in the world? Well, my computer screen just went wacky. Have to pull it back up here. It just kind of did a little zzz. Oh, there, it's back. At DeMond Chiropractic Center, give them a ring. Schedule your appointment today, 724-763-8000. Fast, safe, effective treatment at DeMond Chiropractic. And one thing that Dr. DeMond prides himself on is to, do everything possible to keep you out of the operating rooms. Sometimes you'll go to a doctor or a chiropractor and they'll be like, well, you need surgery. Well, Dr. DeMond uses state-of-the-art equipment and training techniques to make sure that surgery is a last option. You can visit them online also, DeMondChiroCenter.com. So make sure you check out our wonderful sponsor, Dr. DeMond and DeMond Chiropractic Center. They are our player of the game sponsor, of course, for our coverage of Armstrong baseball here in 2023. And Dustin, he didn't get a ride today. I'm kind of upset. The first time he was player of the game, co-athletic director Todd Harvey gave him a ride across in the cart, and he was up here lickety-split. I told him he got the superstar treatment, but Doesn't look like he's getting the superstar treatment today. I don't see the card anywhere. And I don't see Dustin just yet. Armstrong players coming down over the hill right now. Fox Chapel loading up the bus. Oh, there he is. There's Dustin. He's walking across the road right now, so he should be up here in a couple minutes. So while we await Dustin Coleman, once again, take a quick second to thank all of our great sponsors here on High Top Sports Network. And they do so much for us. And, of course, I like to say that, we're not just paying them lip service here. We are patrons of our sponsors and the services they provide. Ryan Bowser State Farm, of course, our post-game sponsor. Armstrong Indoor Athletics, the broadcast booth sponsor. Nationwide Logistics, Full Count, Mound Visit, Backwards K, Stolen Base. They are sponsors of those particular things. Steffi's Country Catering, of course, our scoreboard sponsor. Damon Chiropractic, Player of the Game sponsor. I see Dustin down there talking to somebody. He needs to make a move. Oh, he's coming. He just said goodbye to that guy. Now he's running. All right. I'll give him the business just a little bit. Of course, Bugsy's Pizza and Wings, our official broadcast partner this year. Carson Boyer Funeral Home and Monuments, starting lineup sponsor. Mills Chiropractic, our pregame show sponsor. So many thanks to all of those great businesses in the area that allow us to bring you these broadcasts and give these student athletes the exposure and recognition that their hard work deserves. And one of them coming up the stairs right now in the stadium, that's Dustin Coleman. Dustin, congratulations, man. Great game. Here, you could just talk into the mic. You'll be able to hear me ask you questions.
All right.
Kind of hold it a little closer.
Right here?
Hey, yeah, perfect. So today, a must-win game.
Yes.
You came out, took the ball. I thought this was your best pitching performance of the year. In a must-win game, you really came out and brought it. What were you thinking when you knew you were coming out here and taking the ball?
I knew I just had to come out, throw strikes. I wanted to hit spots, and so I came out and did. I threw a lot of two-seamers, a few curveballs, but more fastballs. That's what was working.
Yeah, let me just adjust this a little bit more. Turn you up just a little bit. Try and hold it as close as you can. Talk a little bit.
Is that good?
Oh, yeah, that sounds great. Yeah, I mean, I thought you were mixing your pitches really well. Your fastball, the location was great, and it didn't seem like they could catch up to it. Did you reach back and get a little extra today?
I think I did. I think I did.
Yeah, I could tell. I mean, I'm sure you wanted to close that game out.
Oh, I did. I was like 1 or 2 pitches off.
Yeah, and, but getting that second out via the strikeout, you blew it past that kid to get that second out. I wanted to ask you what you said to Braden when you walked over to him after he walked the bases loaded.
I told him, I said, just have fun. I said, that's what it's about. I said, put a smile on your face.
Yeah, I saw it, and I said on the broadcast, I said, that's what a senior captain does. You came over. You could probably tell he was nervous. A sophomore hadn't been in that position. I mean, your season's on the line right there. But you calmed him down, and he got the ground out there and got out of it. Just tell me the excitement in the dugout once you guys got that win.
It was so exciting. Everyone knew that we had to win that game to make playoffs, and it just made that game so much more special, just knowing that we're making playoffs.
Yeah, it was an exciting game, to say the least. And, I was really impressed, like I said, with just, your leadership in that game. You led by example in that game, and then you guys get down a run there. Kind of a bad break on a ball that just continued to carry and went off of Braden's glove.
It was.
But you guys came right back in the bottom of the inning, retook the lead.
Yep.
What were you guys saying to each other when you went down 1-0 there?
We were just trying to pick Braden up. He made a mistake, and it's all right. Just pick him up. He got back out. I think he got a hit there after that.
Yeah, he did. He led off the inning, got on base, and then, you guys end up scoring a couple right there. Kind of tell me how much, that takes the pressure off a little bit right there. After you kind of had a little rough patch, getting swept by Franklin Regional, not being able to score against them. A little bit of a rough patch there in that series.
It was tough. Everyone was a little bit down, but we got back in the cage. We got on the machine. We started hitting fastballs. We started hitting some sliders. We wanted to get our bats going again. We needed to get our bats coming back around, and I think that's what we did. We hit pretty good tonight. Yeah,
you hit great, and you played better defense tonight.
We did.
There were only, yesterday, 5 errors in that game.
Yeah.
You give up a bunch of unearned runs. The game kind of gets away. But today, you guys played really clean out there.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, just kind of tell me, going from last year to this year, the way last year finished, you guys finished strong last
We
year,
did.
didn't make the playoffs, and you come into this year, you start out hot, a little bumpy there, like I said, when you guys
Hmm.
played Franklin, but able to rebound. This team, I think, one word I would use to describe it this year is resilient.
This year, the seniors, there wasn't anything more that we wanted was to make playoffs. Coming from last year, we had a tough break. I think we were one game away from playoffs,
Yeah.
and it just didn't happen. But this year, it happened, and we're going.
Well, congratulations to you, Dustin Coleman, and your Riverhawks. Great game today, man. And Dustin Coleman, our DeMond Chiropractic Center player of the game. Thanks, man. So Dustin Coleman coming over and giving us a little bit of his time after the game there. Wanted to make sure that microphone was picking up things. And it's kind of faint in my headset, but I hope you were able to hear Dustin out there on the Ryan Bowser State Farm postgame. And that'll do it for me, Josh Reckengust, here at Armstrong Junior Senior High School. Riverhawks victorious 2-1 over Fox Chapel today. A great way to end the week for Armstrong, and a great way to end the week for us here on High Top Sports Network. Make sure you check us out on Facebook. You can just follow High Top Sports. You can also find us on Twitter at hightop_sports. Of course, the website, hightopsportsnetwork.com. And we have an Instagram too, at High Top Sports Network. So, finally got a game in this week, and it was well worth the wait. A thrilling victory for the Riverhawks, here to keep those postseason dreams alive. Tune in next week for all of our action. Hope the weather holds and we get more broadcasts in and more games for you folks out there. Have a great weekend. My name is Josh Reckengust for the entire